Wealth is sponsored by RBC Clearing and Custody. As a successful financial professional, you may be seeking independence and autonomy by starting your own registered investment advisor business. And if you've already transitioned operations to an RIA service model, you may be looking for a boutique custodian for clients who have sophisticated wealth management goals. Either way, RBC Clearing and Custody offers the resources, expertise, and solutions to help you accomplish your unique business objectives. With the support of an RIA custodian offering the full scope of the products, services, and technology you want, you can focus on your most important asset, your clients. Visit www.rbcclearingandcustody.com today. That's right, we're back like we never left.
Yes, sir.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Talking Wealth. My name is Downtown Josh Brown. I'm here with my pal, Kevin Thompson. Kevin is a financial advisor, just like me. We are industry professionals, not industry commentators. We literally do this for a living. Kevin is the founder and CEO of 9i Capital Group, a fee-based registered investment advisory firm based in Fort Worth, Texas, where he guides high net worth clients through holistic wealth and risk management frameworks, investment strategy, tax planning, retirement income design, etc. Welcome back to the show, Kev. How are you?
I appreciate this, my man, and we are doing well down here in Texas, outside of the Cowboys defense. We're good.
You hear how I professionalized your introduction? That was pretty good, right?
Yeah, I want to meet that guy. Seriously.
All right. Last time we spoke, we were talking about smaller RIAs versus larger firms, and you really wanted to say something, but the camera was off, and it occurred to you 2 days later. So let's clear the decks, and then we'll get into what we're talking about today.
Yeah, I had a little l'esprit d'escalier moment, right? So I don't want people to think that anyone's disparaging $50 million RIAs, but one thing I do want people to understand is you have a $50 million RIA that's on the coast, like in New York or San Francisco. That's entirely different than a $50 million RIA that's in Alabama or Texas, because think about it this way, 80 bips on $50 million, that's $400,000 a year. You keep your costs down really, really low, taxes and everything like that. You can be taking home $300,000 a year in Alabama. That's a really good living. But again, in New York City and on the coast, it may not look as well. But again, I think it's just important to understand location matters significantly where you put your RIA.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think when you're talking about size, it's relative to your clientele in your local market and where your actual cost of living is.
Yeah,
it's a really good point. And then a lot of people discuss the size of their firm without discussing the size of their average client.
Yeah,
you could be a family office with one client, $50 million, and it's a totally different way of practicing than okay. All right, I think that's really important. Do you feel better now? I know the audience does.
I'm sorry, but I was texting you. I was like, I gotta say this.
No, I'm with you. I know the audience feels better. All right, today we got a whole bunch of stuff we want to do. We're going to start with this Kyle Busch IUL story. Just for starters, for people who are unaware, Kyle Busch is a world-famous NASCAR driver, and I think most people would say he is a hugely successful professional athlete and an entrepreneur. In addition to that, he's been around the sport his whole life, and people just assume like wealthy people have their shit together and they don't make dumb decisions or poor decisions or anything like that. And unfortunately, that's not always the case. And Kevin, I feel like before we even get into the IUL scam part of it and what he's alleging, I think we should just start with like professional athletes in general don't always have their act together.
Well, I guess I would know that, right? As being a former professional athlete. But yeah, quite oftentimes, I mean, we're relying on other people to help make these decisions, whether it's your agent getting you the best contract, whether it's your CPA doing your taxes, whether it's just a guy who's getting you the insurance. So yeah, you're relying on these people to help you make the best decisions because again, our job is to go out and perform, and sometimes it just doesn't work out the way we planned.
Okay, so let's play this video.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are in New York City. Samantha and I are at one of the major news stations here in New York City. And as many of you may have seen, we have a press release out that we are in litigation with Pacific Life in regards to IUL policies and insurance policies that are also retirement policies for planning for our future. And unfortunately, ours did not go well.
Yeah, as you'll hear when this broadcast comes out, it was a major scam. We tried to do what we thought was best for our family, for Brexton and Lennox. We were trying to be financially responsible for them and plan for our future. And little did we know that by investing money in this scam, it's all gone. And so the reason we came out here today is, as you guys know, who've followed us for a while, every time God puts a struggle in our path, we're going to try to use it for good. And so we're out here speaking out about what happened, because this just isn't happening to athletes and celebrities. This is happening to teachers, police officers, veterans. This is happening to widows. These are people who are 70 years old. They have nothing else to fall back on. These are people who are, they've worked hard. They've made a small business. They are ready to retire, and they buy into these scams and they lose absolutely everything. And so, Kyle and I will use this platform to try to do all the good that we can. And so we're going to keep fighting Pacific Life, and we're going to show the world that this was a huge and utter scam.
That's right. So tune in for further updates as we come along further in the case.
Wow. All right, you're laughing, but I want to. So, what's your not are they right or are they wrong? What's your immediate reaction to just like what they're saying?
So calling it a scam is a bit much. What Bernie Madoff did was a scam, a scheme. Like this wasn't a scam. You put your money in this product. You just didn't understand how it works. Case in point, they may have sold you one thing or the other, but at the end of the day, it wasn't a scam. It worked exactly like it was supposed to work. Again, I am not a proponent of IULs or VULs, but at the end of the day, scam is a bit much.
Well, could it be a scam if it worked exactly the way it was supposed to work, but it was explained to them differently, or there were words used that were deliberately misleading in order to gain their trust to sell them this contract? Like, can it be a little bit of both? I guess.
It could be a little bit of both, but it's a failure. And so this is, okay, I don't want to disparage. I have friends on the
I understand.
Professional side.
We're not even commenting on whether or not IULs are good or bad. We're commenting on maybe the idea that they were misled in this particular case, which sounds like it's part. Did you see the lawsuit?
No, I have not read it. I have not read it.
So just four aspects to it. Misrepresented product and upside promise. So he is saying that he was told, and maybe he was and maybe he wasn't. This is what they're alleging. He was told that if he pays $1 million annually for 5 years, he would be able to withdraw $800,000 a year starting at age 52 tax-free. Instead, he alleges that his premiums, $10.4 million in total, did not accrue, and that the cash value growth was severely impaired. He discovered a sixth premium notice on what he thought was a 5-year payment plan. So that's like where they said, oh, wait, what's going on? So they're saying failure to disclose the true risks, the assumptions, and the costs. They're also saying unsuitable sales and a conflict of interest because the agent collected a 35% upfront commission before the money was even placed, and he didn't know about it. He didn't understand the commission arrangement. He's saying the marketing was a, quote, tax-free retirement vehicle rather than a higher cost permanent life insurance plus cash value product, which is what it should have been called. And then the last thing is negligent misrepresentation, breach of fiduciary duty, violation of the North Carolina Unfair and Deceptive Trade Practices Act. He's looking for $8.5 million, which is their losses, even though the total premium paid was $10.4 million. So you can take those one by one, or there's so much involved here.
So I'll go back and say, when she said we were scammed out of all this money, there's nothing in there. There is cash value in the policy. Let's just call it what it is. It may not be as much as you want, but there's going to be some kind of cash value in the policy. Let's just call that what it is. So that's strike one for me.
Okay.
Part two, was it not explained? It could possibly be that, but here is my rub. What is your team that you have around you doing? Like, I know I often make fun of the fiduciary standard in regard to like, oh, it's just a marketing ploy. But in this context, where was your fiduciary? Where was your trustee looking over this? Where were the attorneys when you're talking about putting $1 million a year into something?
It sounds like he thought this insurance agent, which is probably somebody that was introduced to him.
Yeah.
All right, let's assume Kyle Busch doesn't take a cold call. And okay, so let's assume this person came into his life either because he bought a different type of insurance from this person, or someone in his circle trusted this person, or it's a brother-in-law, or it's a cousin, or
someone
something.
he knows. Someone he knows.
Right. Let's assume this is not like an off the street. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and you would agree with this, assume that anyone they're working with in a financial context is a fiduciary. An insurance broker is not a fiduciary, but they don't exactly come out and say, by the way, I'm not your fiduciary. So it sounds like this couple just had an assumption. How could this person screw us over? They're helping us with our financial situation. I don't think the general public understands the distinction between suitable, fiduciary, best interest, financial salesperson versus financial advisor. There's no way. The guy's a race car driver.
Yeah.
He doesn't know this stuff.
And this is what Knut Rosted, who's the head of the Fiduciary Standard and Institute, and he's one of the big proponents of this. That's what he says. Like, we need to have a distinction between what's a fiduciary standard and what's not, and hold those people accountable. Maybe make everybody a fiduciary.
We have one. The problem is the nomenclature within the industry.
Yeah.
An insurance person can walk up to somebody and say, I'm a financial consultant.
Yeah, true.
The person hearing that doesn't hear not fiduciary. They hear, oh, this person will consult with me on my finances.
Yeah.
I think Michael Kitsey sued the regulators over this. Like it's a naming convention issue. Why are IULs controversial? I know there's a lot of reasons, but is the main controversy that the actual suitability for this, like the client that truly should be sold this product, it's so narrow that for most high net worth investors, it's not the right suggestion. However, it's so profitable to sell that the potential pool of people that it's sold to is wider than it should be. Is that one of the main reasons?
No, I think the main reason why it's the way it is because the insurance industry in itself has done a poor job educating advisors on what they're actually selling. And what I mean by that, they'll throw spaghetti against. I've been in these back offices in these agencies. Throw spaghetti against the wall. You go get your insurance license in 3 weeks, and bam, go sell some whole life or go sell some IULs or VULs. And these people know nothing about the product that they're selling. Now, there are people that have been in this industry for 20 plus years that know this product in and out. David Kinders of the world, the Andy Pankos of the world, all those guys, they know this stuff. The Tracy Lounsburys. But here's the issue. What's happening to these types of individuals in regards to the people that are just entering the business, they'll sell a product and then a year or two goes by, they're no longer in the business because they failed out. And now you're wondering, well, they told me this was going to be a 5-year product. Well, it was, but this person's no longer in the business. Now you have to retrain someone else on why you bought this product. That's the main issue to me.
Okay, so there's like somebody leaving the bag. Someone who's not serious about what they do sells one of these things. They're heavily coached. They, whether intentionally or not, they use misleading terminology to describe the costs or the benefits or both. The client forgets everything they were told. The buyer forgets everything they were told. The person is nowhere to be found. And then they go talk to somebody else and that person trashes the product.
Yeah.
And even in some cases says, probably in this case, somebody comes along and says, what did you sign? This is actionable. We should go do something about this. So it probably goes better if the person who sold it to them is a serious professional and maintains contact throughout the life of this contract so that the buyer doesn't all of a sudden have this like, oh my God, what happened? So I agree that there's a portion of that. I think it's got to be that way.
Yeah, because think about Kyle Busch, right? He probably spoke to someone else, maybe a CFP or some other guy or person, and they told him, "What'd you do?" They trashed it, and then you go back and say, "Well, you told me this is going to do this, and it's not doing this." Well, time, we're going to get there, and all the other stuff, and most likely the guy that sold it to him maybe 8 years ago, maybe it's been transferred over a couple of times again. I don't know, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things that constantly needs to be educated. Again, I'm not on the IUL side or the VUL side or whole life side. I'm just trying to help people understand.
Kevin, what are these most popularly sold as an answer to?
So if I was going to do anything from a VUL, IUL side of things, it's a strict estate planning thing.
Variable or
variable
or
universal
indexed.
life, index universal life, or just universal life in general. It's strictly from an estate planning side. I don't care about all I care about is the death benefit. And I want the death benefit as high as possible. We're going to dump a bunch of cash in here, and I'm going to have a death benefit inside of a trust that's going to go to my kids, or take care of.
So Kyle Busch, that's probably the part of this that was most appealing to the Busch family is they have all this money.
Yeah,
and they're concerned with the. I'm assuming he has won enough money in his career that he's not planning to spend it all.
Well, but he said this is sold as a retirement plan for him, and that's what's the problem is right now. They're sold as a retirement plan because when you get to a set age, like 65 or 70, can you imagine the insurance cost? You're taking money out. There's insurance costs. There's fees on top of that, and it's not performing to the way that it's supposed to be performing. It's 3 negatives coming out of the policy that you're not going to be able to accrue the money that the original illustration.
So you think the average buyer of this actually comes away from the sales meeting where they're being closed with the ability to explain things like index crediting, caps, participation rates, reset mechanisms? Do you honestly think the average consumer, even if they have a wonderful experience with the salesperson, they can't walk out of that meeting and tell their wife or their husband or anyone like what they actually just agreed to?
I agree with you 100%, but you can say the same thing about private equity and private credit. So just FYI. I mean, there's advisors out there that are selling that same stuff that have no idea.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Last thing on this.
Just trying to protect myself, man.
No, I know. There's like an annuity mafia out there, and if you even make the slightest criticism, like it's like you insulted their religion. I don't
need my LinkedIn feed to go.
We're not doing that. We're just talking about
I'm just kidding with
we're talking about what Kyle Busch alleged. Yeah. We're towing the line really nicely. One of the criticisms is that, and CFPs and especially Vanguardian type CFPs who are very focused on low cost investing and indexing, they will point out IUL policies once you see once all the costs and the fees come out, it ends up looking like a whole life policy. Maybe you earn 2, 3, 4, 5%. And the returns look nothing like an actual stock index, low cost stock index fund would be the way I would phrase it. Now, there are other features of it that you're not getting, obviously, with a low-cost stock index fund. Certainly, you're tamping down on the stated volatility, but that comes at a cost, and the cost is the after-cost returns are very different. I mean, it's a legit discrepancy between the two things. I think the salesperson would point out, yes, by design.
So let's just be clear. Yes, you're absolutely right with that. But they're not one and the same because a quote unquote life insurance policy is not an equity. So we have to make sure that if we're talking about these, we got to compare them to what they are, which is basically a fixed income or a bond component. So just FYI, from that perspective.
Yes, but the indexed is where people get confused.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think is going to happen? I mean, obviously, Pac Life has to fight tooth and nail.
Yeah.
It can't. they can't settle this. It's too public.
Well, we
And
have
maybe
E&O,
that's-
like you have E&O coverage for that. So you got to go after the advisor. The advisor is linked. And you notice they didn't say the advisor. They talked about the company because it's just like getting in a wreck in the Walmart parking lot. I don't care about the wreck. I'm going to go attack Walmart. So that's what they're doing.
Right. I'm guessing the person who sold it doesn't have $11 million to pay them back, but Pac Life certainly does.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. This will be interesting to see how, I mean, it'll drag on for a while, but we'll follow back up on it. All right. Wipe the sweat from your brow. I'll do the same. This week, ChatGPT banned tailored financial advice.
Yeah.
Meaning so supposedly this is the second most prompted topic after I think I read health is number one.
Okay.
Followed by financial advice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think by financial advice they don't mean like what stock should I buy?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are asking ChatGPT very basic things about taxes and bank accounts and credit cards. But to me, this is not that big of a surprise. They said as of October 29th, ChatGPT stopped providing specific guidance on treatment, legal issues, and money. The bot is now officially an educational tool, not a consultant. So people asking it very specific questions about their own financial situation are not going to get answers. And they're saying health, law, and money are going to be the red lines for all of these LLMs, especially ChatGPT. What are your thoughts?
So you ever seen like Law and Order SVU? Like I don't watch them much, right? Law and Order, the judge comes out and he says, strike that from the record, that admission of guilt, right? And all that crap. Well, how are you telling me that from what you designed this bot to do, which is continue to learn on itself, fix its mistakes, you're going to basically just say, okay, no, we're not going to do that anymore? Like, how do you tell an AI chatbot that you've just built to do this, not to do it anymore? I don't understand how that works.
Well, OpenAI doesn't want to have a multiple of 12 times earnings. And the fastest way for that to happen would be to become a regulated bank/financial advisory firm.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of compliance cost involved in the business of giving advice and tons of liability. And there's no way for a chatbot to know whether or not somebody is relaying their whole picture or leaving things out of embarrassment. Like, how can a chatbot actually give financial advice if it can't be confident that it's getting the truth from the person prompting it? So, like, just for starters, if it gives the wrong advice and somebody wipes themselves out or does something that they should not have, it's open season for the lawyers would love for this thing to give advice.
Then why wouldn't
the plaintiff's attorneys would love this?
Why not just put it in your terms of agreement that everybody just clicks on and signs and say, hey, anything that happens, we're not liable for? I mean, how hard is? I don't understand what the difference is. I mean, would they not just put that in their terms of agreement there? So
here's the can you just disclaim it and then do it anyway?
Yeah,
I guess they've come to the conclusion that disclaimer won't hold up if somebody gets like substantially financially up. It's not going to really help them.
Yeah.
So, all right, here's the International Business Times.
Yeah.
The new rules reported by Nexta are explicit. Quote, no more naming medications or giving dosages.
Oh, yeah.
No lawsuit templates. No investment tips or buy-sell suggestions. One might take health into their own hands, feeding ChatGPT symptoms out of curiosity. The resulting answers can read like a worst-case scenario, swinging wildly from simple dehydration to diagnoses like cancer. Right. So obviously we're not going to have the chatbot dispensing drug prescriptions and official diagnoses.
Yeah.
And I guess from the financial standpoint, it could be just as catastrophic if nobody's responsible. No human being is responsible.
It's funny you say that because I mean I use it a lot. And I use it just because it helps me, get organized. But like I said on a thread a couple of days ago, this only works if the person who's using it has the acumen to use it. Like I go in there and like, for example, I went in there, I typed in something and it inadvertently said, it's going to have the self-employment tax on more than the Social Security income that was available. Like I said, $300,000, it put the tax on the entire $300,000. So if you're using these things and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to assume that it's right. It's the people that are using it that know what they're doing are going to outperform the people that don't. That's just my opinion. So I just think you have to have a little bit of knowledge.
Yeah, a lot of the tools focused on our industry to help people with their finances.
Yeah,
I think the ones that will get the fastest uptake are the ones where it can only train on the data that you allow it access to.
Yes,
and it can't connect to the rest of the internet. So it's like in a walled garden, it's sitting as a layer on top of your firm's proprietary data, and it's answering questions based on data that can't ever leave. It can't go out and query a larger LLM or go out into the cloud just aimlessly with the data that you provided. I don't think, based on what I'm told by consultants and people in the industry, I don't think most RIAs or even large broker dealers, I don't think that they have the data lake in place to have organized data to the point where it's actually useful to set an LLM loose on it.
No,
I think it's so early. So I think what most advisors are doing is they're asking generic questions of ChatGPT or Claude, and that's fine as long as they're not using identifiable information or client names or addresses or date of births or, God forbid. So as long as that's where it is, I think it's perfectly fine. Policing it's going to become a nightmare as these tools become more and more widely used.
Yeah.
Because, financial advisors are human. And when they take off the financial advisor hat, they're using ChatGPT in their regular life to improve upon a recipe or, calculate how long their commute will be or whatever.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to lean on this stuff. So I think the faster firms can figure out, what their own policy is and where the lines are drawn, the better. Like now would be a good time.
But that's the issue right now, because if we start regulating and placing barriers on this, guess who's not doing that? Other nations. Now, you did hear China come out and say, hey, if there's going to be people giving medical or financial or any type of legal advice, you have to be registered or registered individual or licensed individual to do so. I'm not saying we got to go that far, but again,
we don't even regulate TikTok. We have people selling financial products literally on TikTok. There's nobody's paying attention.
Yeah.
Literally no one's watching.
It's the Wild West.
Well, we've also, the stock market's gone up like 8 of the last 12 months. So if and when that reverses, maybe people will start paying more attention. For right now, it just feels like anyone can do whatever they want. It's very scary.
Well, I just know that the chatbot is still because I was testing it and it's still, nothing's really changed. So I don't know in what context they're going to change anything, but it doesn't seem like anything's changed to me.
Okay. Let's go to a CFP Reddit.
Yes, sir.
This is Kevin and I's favorite subreddit.
No, it's your favorite subreddit. It's yours.
No, you're into it. Come on, stop. I know you're into it.
I know.
We got a good one this week. Can I read it?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, fellow CFPs. I'm a 30-year-old female advisor. Started in the industry right out of college, 8 years experience and CFP designation. Congratulations. I used to get questioned all the time about my age. And since getting my CFP, it's happened less and less, but today stung me. I'm taking over a retiring advisor book, and our biggest client decided after meeting with me that she loved working with me but prefers someone older. I wish it didn't hurt me, but it does. I've made the pitch that I'm here for generations, the next 35, 40 years, versus the guy retiring that maybe has 20 years left on this earth. How do other young CFPs deal with that? Just looking for inspiration as I'm feeling discouraged. We'll get into some of the responses, but what would be your like? Let's say she came to you and laid this out. What would you say?
Well, it's tough because it's true. Some people just want a little bit of gray hair. Like, I have my little gray hair here, but some people just want that. I would say to fix this problem, maybe integrate an older advisor into the process, so it doesn't seem like you're doing this on your own. I would be afraid. She's only been in the business for 8
Yeah,
years.
but this sounds like it was an older advisor who then said, hey, congratulations, your new advisor is Stephanie.
Yeah.
And then Stephanie pops onto the Zoom or into a live meeting to introduce herself. And it's like, oh, this kid looks like my daughter.
Well, then
I don't know.
I mean, you got to do some kind of a split code, something like that, where you're on the case. Yeah, you
Gradual handoff.
Yeah, exactly.
Gradual handoff.
Yeah, either that. Yeah. Well, first off, you and I both know this has to be something that has to be taken with kids' gloves, because people moving from me to you or you to someone else, it's gonna hurt. So you got to take, hey, this person, I trust this person. And by the way, how has this person not been on most calls during this transition leading up to it, maybe a year or two prior to just being the
so that was what I was because we have dealt with these kind of like not just retiring advisor, but an advisor who is deliberately handing clients off because they're prioritizing, a certain type of client, or they're slowing down in general and they want to make sure everyone's getting enough attention.
Yeah.
So we have dealt with that. It's rarely just like a one shot, here you go talk to this person now. Yeah. Especially if it's a younger advisor, that younger advisor's got to be on a few meetings.
Yeah, at least.
Just like show your face, get your bearings, understand the situation.
Yeah.
This sounds like maybe it was done a little bit of a rush. I've also seen this the other way though, where a family will get introduced to a younger advisor, not a young advisor, but younger.
Okay.
Right? Okay. A younger advisor, and they'll say something like, I'm really excited about this. I've been thinking for a while, maybe I need a change. Maybe I need to talk to somebody that's got more time for me, more energy, maybe is more plugged in with like newer concepts in the markets. So that's a way that this same situation actually could go. I guess it didn't go that way this time, but like, don't discount the value of being on the younger side. A lot of people actually appreciate that, and they don't want to work with someone who's going to retire at the same time they do.
So what would you say? Like, what would you tell this person if they came up to you?
I think I would say next.
Yeah, next. I got you.
Like keep it moving, and believe me, time will go by and you will get old. Unfortunately for you, this thing that you think you're missing, you will find it.
Yeah.
So while you're young, focus on people that actually are excited to work with you.
1,000.
And if that means a few missed economic opportunities in the short term, like I would not let that get you discouraged. They're actually giving you a compliment if they think you're so young.
Hey, but it bruises the ego
it.
a little bit, man. It does hurt the ego a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, would it hurt your ego, or would you, like how old were you when you first started giving advice?
2011, so I was probably, 14, 15 years ago? So yeah, what am I right now? So about 30?
So you were 30?
Yeah, I was 30, yeah.
Someone's like, oh man, you're young. Bruised, or you'd be like, hell yeah, I'm young. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's all right, here's what some of the people said.
Yeah.
I like the first comment.
Yeah.
Let people have their biases. The forward thinkers won't care about your age.
Yeah.
Strong agree. Look, I don't know how old Sam Altman is. He looks like a teenage boy. He's got a $500 billion company. Zuckerberg went public in his 20s. He's got $1 trillion company. Like I think the right clients are like, this is awesome. I got this young rock star that's willing to come in and help me. Like I understand the client wanting judgment and wisdom. I get it. But 30 is not 20. Like, come on. You could be 30 and have a really good level of judgment. Let me see. I'll read you one more.
Yeah. I guess that question goes to you.
I'll tell you why people would care about age.
Yeah.
How many economic cycles have you been through in your career? Is that helpful? All these people, all these people that have been through all these cycles, every time a stock goes up, they think it's 1999. Like, is that even helping anymore?
I think it's helpful because, like like in your book, you talk about it, man. Like, you talk about Jesse Livermore and all that stuff. And I just, like, experience matters. Like it's like having the QB, like the Kyle Busch thing. It's like having the QB in the
Is it always helpful though in a financial planning / investing role? Can't that experience weigh you down and have you looking for analogs from the past that just are not relevant? Dude, 15 years ago after the great financial crisis, all the old timers couldn't wait to tell you how it was the 1970s again.
Yeah.
They're fucking wrong. They were wrong. They predicted hyperinflation as a result of the Fed lowering rates. It took 15 years before we had any.
Yeah.
Stock market went straight up. They were wrong. All that experience. I don't know.
But you also say that there has nothing, like you said in your book, you said there's the stock market, everything that's happened in the stock market has happened already and will happen in the future. So so when you think like that, it's
which
like,
is it?
But when you think like that, you're expecting, well, hey, like today, the data centers and all that stuff, because that's the gold. Then who's basically providing the shovels, right? We want to invest in the people with the shovels, right? So like it's the same thing.
I think the thing that's the same is that it's humanity.
Yeah.
And it's fear and greed.
Yeah.
And those are like the two primary drivers of all activity.
100%.
And we're never going to evolve away from that paradigm. But like then everything else changes. And
everything else changes, then it stays the same. There you go.
That's right. I'm a walking contradiction of myself. All right. What does everyone do to inoculate retiring clients from the full press?
Yeah.
This is also from Reddit, so I'll read quickly. I'm just curious what the standard operating procedures are being used. I'm always trying to refine my approach. Every time I have a high net worth client getting ready to retire and roll over their 401k, the high pressure sales teams hit them with the full court press. It's the inevitable dance that has to happen, but I would love to hear everyone's process.
Yes.
What do you do about this?
Oh my God. So a lot of times I would talk to the client directly, and sometimes I'll get on the phone call with them and just see what they're hearing. I want to hear what these people are saying. I literally do.
The bank comes and says, "Congratulations, you sold your company." Or whatever the milestone is.
Yeah. So I got one for you. So we have a lot of clients that are retiring with their thrift savings accounts, right, from the government, $1 million accounts, $1.5 million. So the first thing people are going to do, they're going to come in and say, "Oh, Empower," or whatever the company is, roll it over to their IRA and then invest in something that they have, right? They're going to have these conversations with them, or we can just basically just say, okay, let me be the middleman. Let's have a conversation with them together. I want to hear what they're saying. And quite frankly, I mean, it's better that way. It's not always going to go that way. But a lot of times these companies, whether it be like Lockheed Martin, they used to have Empower and all that stuff, they would just get the full court press. Move it over here. We're going to do this.
So what is Empower? Like, what is that full court press? It's like
move the assets over here, buy an annuity.
So they hit 65 and that triggers this domino effect of people who get a notification. Today is the day you reach out to Jim Jones. God forbid. John Jones. Let's not start with Jim Jones. John Jones turned 65 today.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, TIAA, Empower, Fidelity Net Benefits, all these players, like somebody on a computer screen somewhere, your number's up. So then they call you and all right, here's what you need to do now with your money now that you're retired. Have you considered this? Have you considered, all right, big deal. If you have a solid relationship with your client, like that, you're going to lose your client over that? Really?
No, and you won't.
No way, right?
No, you won't. But I guess the question is, like, I've had clients with TSPs. They were people would go into their offices talking about getting them into an annuity, moving that entire TSP into an annuity. Right. I was like, you already got Social Security. You already got your FERS. Like, what are we talking about here? You got $10,000, $15,000 a month coming to you, and they're wanting to put another annuity on top of that. It's magic, man.
A lot of the CFPs in the chat are saying that they do what you said. They sit on the call.
Yeah.
And they're saying, like, when I sit on the call with the client, the reps calm down with the shit they're saying. One guy's saying, can't recall how many times I've had, quote, Larry from Dallas, the, quote, retirement plan specialist jump on from TIA. Here's a funny one. Quote, but does your advisor understand you're giving up all of these guarantees?
1,000%, man. That is the number one. It's laughable.
All right, but listen, everyone's trying to earn a living. We get it. No disrespect to the quote retention team. I think so. Here's what I would say: like having financial planners who are preparing their clients not just for retirement, but from all the people who are about to try to sell them things in retirement. Is a good idea.
1,000%.
Like, here's what you could expect from my industry, some of which I'm not proud of, but here's what's about to happen. And when you tell them in advance and then it happens, they go, oh, you were right.
I live by that standard, man. And of course, in your book, you talk about it as well. Like, I live by, like, this is what this advisor is going to tell you. Like we talked about it last week. This is what this advisor is going to show you on their breakdown of your statement. They're going to say, oh, this is not good, but I can do this right here. It's all showing the back end, showing just the underbelly of this business. It goes a long way.
All right, Kevin. So today, to conclude,
yes,
we managed to anger IUL salespeople, but also people who are anti-IUL. I think we managed to piss them both off.
There you go.
Young advisors too.
There you go.
Also, people from the retention team at the annuity shops. We definitely got to them. Who else did we?
Hey.
Who else did we? ChatGPT.
Yeah, well, they're gonna come after you, man. You're gonna see these messages come across your screen out of nowhere.
I'm in the algorithm now, and a founding member of Dipset, Jim Jones.
There you go.
So we got it. All right, bring my music back in. We're gonna goodbye, Kevin, and we're gonna wrap up here. Kevin, this is so much fun. I want to tell people where they can follow your stuff. I know you're active on LinkedIn and X.com.
Yes. Also,
all right.
YouTube at 9iCap, MLB to CFP on all social media channels. And also find us on our Substack, What Now, at 9iCap. Follow us, subscribe, support. Love you guys.
All right. If you want more Kevin, you know where to get it. I know we definitely want more Kevin, so he will be back here on Talking Wealth. Guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you.